Hey guys, welcome back to Channel Pause Window Cleaning, and in today's video I want to help you guys create an awesome portfolio and also what is a portfolio so that you can ultimately show this to your clients and land more work. So let's just get straight into it. So essentially, what is a portfolio? A portfolio is you want to show someone or some people, a group of people, the work that you can potentially do, right? So like for example, if you want to hire someone to do a website or you want someone to do something for you, what do you normally do? 9 times out of 10 you go online, you see like how they are and see like their work, because you want to see, is that work good for me? You know what I mean? So you don't want to just say, oh, this person's all 5 stars, but you see their work, you're kind of like, I don't really feel them, right? But if you look at this other person, maybe that's newer, but yet doesn't have so many reviews, let's say, but you see their work and like, oh, I really like them. I want to kind of give them a chance. That's pretty much what a portfolio is, right? So how do you create a portfolio? Now, when it comes to cleaning windows, it's very simple. You just really just need an iPhone or a phone or Android too, and just record you doing work. That's all you really need to do. I'm sure you have windows at your house, and all you need to do is just take a photo of before and after, maybe a couple videos of you cleaning windows, and so then that is what's building up your portfolio. Now, another thing you want to also keep in mind is that what do you want to show as to how can you represent your company? Now, yes, anyone can pick up a mop and squeegee, clean a window. There's many different ways of cleaning a window, but what makes you more unique than other individuals, right? So maybe you were thinking about maybe having another shirt, or like a business shirt. You don't want to go like with cleaning windows like a shirt like this because it doesn't look that professional. But at the same time, what do you want to represent your brand with, right? Your company with, right? So again, building a portfolio is super easy. It can be as simple as just getting a mop and squeegee, getting your phone, recording you. Literally do the same window 100 times in the same window. It's okay. It's not going to be a big difference, because once you start landing more work, then you'll have more content. Now, if you guys are new to my channel and my YouTube channel itself, I have a lot of videos of me like cleaning windows for people's homes and all that. So I have content every time I go do a home, just to record once or twice at that location, depending to, sometimes I can't record, but every time opportunity that I have, I like to have like a little bit of content so that ultimately I can show my work to individuals. Now, when it comes to actually getting this content, right? You have all this content and everything. What do you do with it, right? You're like, oh man, I have like all these photos and videos, and I'm sure they look amazing and really, really, really good. What do you do with it, right? So having this portfolio, you want to show it off to others, right? I'm not saying that you're like, oh, I'm the best, but I'm just saying you want to show your work to others so that ultimately people can say, hey, you know what? I want to hire this individual to clean my windows, or any other service in general, but obviously this is for window cleaning, so you want to have a portfolio just for that. So what are the best ways to do or to create a portfolio for you? Well, you don't want to just put all your eggs in one basket, okay? What I would recommend is that to have like different platforms, if that makes sense, of showing your content. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what is free, right? Let's start off with the free ones, right? What's free? Instagram's free, Facebook's free, you can connect them two together, Google, Yelp, Thumbtack, all these different platforms are pretty much free, and you don't have to pay for anything. Right now, because of course, if you want to pay for advertising, that's one way of doing it, and then you can, broadcast your company even more, but you want to provide that portfolio for people to see your work. Now, one thing that I love to do, even though I have my YouTube channel with, my YouTube shorts and my videos and all that, I also put it on my Instagram. If you guys want to check that out, is Pause Window Cleaning. But pretty much all my content that I put on YouTube, I also put on my Instagram, so that essentially when I go to someone's house, I just show them right there. Like, oh, hey, I do window cleaning and I just use pure water. What? Pure water, that's it? Yep, that's all I do. I use a filtration system and a water-fed brush. I clean your whole windows, and it gives you the best results on the outside because I also clean your frame. And what? That sounds really good. The other guy just used traditional. No, not a problem. Let me show you a video. Boom. Easy as that. Now, another way that is effective to have, like I said, a Google, Yelp, to have that portfolio, is that not everyone has an Instagram. I know that sounds kind of funny, but not everyone has a social media, for privacy reasons, or, just personal preference. It could also be a bad experience. We don't know. But the reason why I say that is because if you go to, like, let's say if you think of, like, let's say Apple, right? A technological computer, an iPhone or whatever, what's the first thing you want to do? You said, oh, I want to buy an iPhone, right? So you go there and on Apple and you try to look at their catalog, you see what's good for you. Is this the phone that I like? I don't really like that. Okay, this and that. But at least you can visually see, okay, that's what I want. This is what I want, all the specs and everything. Awesome, right? Right now, people are like, oh, I want something like that, but they can visually see that item, and ultimately they'll go and purchase that item. So what do I mean by that? Well, because essentially, if you have a Google, a Yelp, what you want to do is you want to show your work to individuals, like maybe a house that you've done, maybe before and after. To be honest, I've noticed more that a lot of individuals just post like pictures of homes, which is great, but I'm seeing a trend now that they're trying to show more like videos, more before and after, because that shows like people can connect with that, because not everyone's going to have a mansion, right? And if they have a mansion, great, you got a job from them because of that. But most people just have like a very simple home, and they might think, oh, this person only has mansions in his website or in his portfolio or whatever. Then from there, you kind of are like, do I really want to go with this guy? But if you have general photos of different types of windows, like, before and after on French windows, before and after, or just like single pane windows, then from there, people can connect with you, and most importantly, or feel more inclined to hire you for the job. Now, I kind of just said it like very briefly right now, but with this whole portfolio that it's all spread out in every single platform, there's one platform that you can put all of them in. Now, what do I mean by that? That platform is having a website. Now, in the beginning, maybe it's a little too expensive to have a website. It can cost a few $1,000s to have a professional website built. But what you could do is just go online. I use Wix. So if you want to go to Wix and just go there and just say, hey, I want to build a website, then from there you can connect all these plugins for your social medias, your Google, your Yelp, Thumbtack, or whatever, so that people, when they go to your website, they can say, okay, let me see the reviews on this platform. Let me see the reviews on that platform. Let me see this, that, this, and that on Yelp and Facebook. And then from there, they kind of have an idea of what you are providing, right? But that is completing having a portfolio on your business, right? Now, another thing is that's very important with all this, in line, is that you also want to have a way to have reviews, right? That's another important thing with having a portfolio. Now, yes, I'm talking about having images and photos and like your brand and all that, but having reviews also is included in having that portfolio for people, because you can have like the best photos, the best videos ever, but you have no reviews and, or very bad reviews. No one's going to really want to go with you, right? So it's like kind of looking for a restaurant, right? You're like, oh, I feel like having like my personal favorite, like I want to have Mexican food, right? I go on and I see and I'm like, oh man, this one only has like 2.3 stars. Do I really want to go there? But this one's like 4.5. This looks really, really good. Oh man, they have like a really good burrito. I like burritos. Then, oh, I want to go get that. So then there you go, right? So you kind of have that as an understanding. So I personally use to get more reviews is NiceJob and also Project to Payment. Now, those two platforms are totally different. I'll go more into those later, but NiceJob is really good because essentially what it does is that it helps you get reviews. Like after you get a job, you can just put someone's phone number and also their email, send it out, and from there it'll help them, like remind them to leave a review for you, especially if they really liked you. They're gonna probably do it like very quickly. Happens to us all the time. So if you guys want to know more about that, I'll have it in the description down below, a link to our affiliate with NiceJob. If you use that code, it'll help us out tremendously, help the channel out, and really it helps us out when it comes to getting more reviews. And really, the first year, my wife and I were like, oh, I don't know if I want to get this, it's like, this program for us. But what's awesome about NiceJob is that with them is that you get the reviews, but also you can put those reviews on your website, and it just makes things so much more professional, much more nicer. So it just makes things really, really, really nice for the customer to see your reviews and also to have, more reviews. And so, but keeping that in mind, I also use Project to Payment. Project to Payment is awesome too, because it's a really good business management tool. And so I also have an affiliate link in the description down below if you want to use that. It's really good, helps you to have customers and all that. So if you use our link, it will help us out a lot. But also too, if you use our link, you get 3 months free. It's really great. Try it out. I highly recommend using it. But keeping that all in mind, those little things with the portfolio, it's really nice because once you start building this business, you want to kind of start showing like, how your brand brand looks. Now, I'm not trying to make this too much like a sponsored video at all. This is really not a sponsored video when it comes to like tell you guys about a sponsorship, but the reason I'm saying all this is because I also use Finprint when it comes to my shirts. Now, why do I say Finprint is really good? Is because when I first started, I used, if I'm not mistaken, it was, Vistaprint, and I made a very, very professional shirt, a polo shirt, gray, and my little logo here, and my name, Paz Window Cleaning. My wife and I both have that. You know, it was on the affordable end, cheaper side, right? But at the same time, we want to look as professional as possible. But it's kind of funny, a couple weeks ago, I ended up, or actually it was last week, I ended up not cleaning our clothes. I forgot completely to wash our clothes, and my wife and I didn't have any clothes to clean. I know, I should have remembered. But we ended up taking our polo shirts in the past, the polo ones I was telling you, and I went to a job last week, and they were just kind of like there was like a cleaner at the house, and she thought that we were just like the owners, but like not also the cleaners, because she's like, oh, you're also the cleaners? Or like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I thought you were just the owners. So it was kind of funny like that. The reason why I'm saying all that is because now with this Finprint that I'm using, I have it designed so that it covers my whole sleeve, it's a long sleeve, so it covers my arms so that, you know, I don't have to put sunblock on my arms. It's UV protected and all of that. Very, very, very breathable. I get soaked in water all the time, especially when I'm doing screen cleaning. That whole thing just gets me wet all the time, but not as bad, but you know what I mean. But at least I have that confidence that if I would have had that polo shirt, you know, it wouldn't dry as fast as it would with the Finprint. But also too, with the Finprint, it's like a walking billboard. I have my logo, I have all the services that we provide, has our phone number in it, makes things very easy, especially when I'm cleaning windows. I cannot tell you how many times I would go somewhere, even like to go to Chipotle or something like that. Again, burrito, I like burritos. But I go to like Chipotle, and like people would be kind of like looking at me like, hey, like, yo, you do window cleaning? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, let me get your contact card. And I'm like, oh yeah. And so right there and then they get my phone number for my shirt. It makes things a little bit easier. But at the same time, like even when I'm doing a job, you know, like especially when I'm doing water fed, you know, I'm cleaning a window, maybe second or first floor, people are like passing by, walking their dog, they see our shirts and all that, and they say, oh wow, look, that looks like a professional. Because if I would have my polo shirt that's gray, there's nothing on the back, so they're kind of like, okay, I don't see, you know, the advertisement anywhere, but at least they can see the work done, and it does impress people because they're like, wow, look what this is water fed thing is, and then they end up like taking a picture of my shirt or whatever. But just makes things so much easier. But all in all, you want to have that like portfolio, because when you do, like, let's say for example, cleaning a window, or you want to take like a selfie of you cleaning windows or whatever, you can also put that in as part of like your portfolio on your business website. That's kind of what I did too. I would highly suggest when it comes to like having like a professional photo taken, I took my iPhone, and essentially what I did was I got a tripod, and I had like the little timer for 10 seconds. And of course I used the back camera because that's always better than the front facing one. But I positioned the camera in an angle where I had my truck, and we'll talk about a wrap in a little bit. But we have a picture of my truck, or my wife and I's truck, and we have her and I with our system and all that, our screen cleaner 2, our 3-stage multi-stage system, our X2. And essentially what we did was that we positioned everything that make it look very nice, took a picture, and I now use that as our business profile. So essentially you want to have something like that, you know, so that people can connect with you, because they want to see your face, they want to see like what you service, or what like you offer, in a sense, like the services you offer. But again, that makes your business more professional. But again, it's creating that portfolio of like, oh, this guy just doesn't do this on the weekends. This is actually like a legit business. He invested a lot into your company, into their company. So that means that, you know, they know what they're doing, especially when you're licensed and insured. That just makes things so much easier. So kind of like what I hinted, another thing of that portfolio that will make things really, really, really good for you is to have your car wrapped. Now, I said the story many times, but when I first started, I kind of, you know, was trying to build a business like kind of on the cheaper end, and I got magnets also from Vistaprint, and I put the magnets on the side of my car. And I remember driving to go give a bid, and when I arrived, one of the magnets was missing, and I was just like, are you kidding me? So at that point, I was like, all right, now it's time for a wrap. I already had my Maverick at that time. So then from there, you know, I wrapped the car. I did a half wrap, but still, it makes a difference. I've gotten like already, like I think 4 or 5 calls already. They're like, oh, your rap, it was really cool. I liked it a lot. Again, building that portfolio, like, wow, this guy really invested into his company. That means that they're a legit business. So all in all, what I'm trying to get at is that to build that portfolio, you have to take the baby steps, right? You have to have like content, right? But also too, you want to progress to then having like different things. But most importantly, you want that brand, that appeal to others to say, hey, this is a legit business. And then if anything, again, I was talking to you guys earlier about the Instagram. Oh, we also do screen cleaning. Oh, we charge $5 a screen. What do you mean $5 a screen? That's very expensive. My previous window cleaner just used a rag. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't do that. But let me show you how we do clean. Oh, wow, you clean the frame and the screen itself? Wow, that looks really good. You know what? Let's end up doing that. So a lot of people end up doing the screen clean through us because of the video. Again, content, showing that portfolio to individuals in person, but also too, when you're not working, quote unquote, you're also having people look at your portfolio online. And so all in all, I was trying to make this video very short, but again, I'll put the links to the description down below for NiceJob, Project to Payment, and also FinPrint. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I just wanted to make this video for you guys, but I want you guys to have that portfolio so that more people will be more interested in your company, even if you're in Los Angeles. Like I said, there's enough windows for everyone, so don't think it has to be outside of LA. There's a lot of places here. I know a few of you guys here in Orange County. You guys are like in Santa Monica, Santa Barbara, what's over there, San Bernardino. But that's great because at the end of the day, there's enough windows for everyone. And so I just want to help you guys the best that I can to help you build that portfolio so that you could potentially get more work, get more reviews, and have a professional look to your company. So anyways, long story short, that's how you make a portfolio for your business. And if you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye.